As I rounded a couple of trees at the far side of the trail, I got that feeling once more. You know, the one you get when you know something's up and the tiny hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. When I looked up, I saw 3 men standing near the trees, blocking my path. I stopped dead in my tracks, shocked. The one to the far left was dressed in what looked like a tunic and tights. The shirt under the tunic was the lightest of greens I'd ever seen, and his cloak seemed as if it were made of grass. There was a sword sheathed at his side, and the grin he sent me was full of mischief. The eyes were what drew my attention, though. His eyes were 3 kinds of green, with yellow rings, and I could see them even from where I stood. His long, cascading hair was the same color as the pale yellow of his eyes, and it reached the middle of his back. However, what astonished me the most was the fact that he was green. As I continued to stare dumbstruck, I noticed they looked alike. Where the first one was green, the next was a deep, dark brown. His clothes were much the same, except his shoes appeared to be made of leaves or something like that. He was such a deep brown, had no one told me, I would have declared he was a person of color, especially because of the long, curly, sable hair which reached his ankles. He didn't carry a sword as the other one did, but a nasty-looking saber, and his expression was anything but playful. The last one was yellow, or gold to be more exact, and seemed to sparkle in the rays of the sun. I knew I must be dreaming while awake, because Shinto like this just did not happen in broad daylight. Then they spoke, and I nearly choked. "'Tis her, Nick," the green one asked, and the brown one cocked his head to the side, studying me. "It would seem so, brother," he said, and made as if he would approach me, but the other one stilled him as I took a step back, shaking his head no. "We must not engage, dear brother Nock. We were only sent here to observe. Queen Roswin will be most displeased if we were to frighten the human," the green one said, but the brown one sent him a deep frown. "This is true, brother, but I have not truly seen a human before, especially one so deliciously plump." The yellow one smirked, and I took 2 steps back. That was not a nice look. It didn't matter what color he was. Lust was still the same. His eyes scanned the tight leggings I was wearing, the jogging bra, and I knew exactly what he was thinking. "If you touch her, dear brother Flack, Prince Kailen will have your head, and you know this," the brown one snapped as he placed his hand to the one called Flack's shoulder to still him. The yellow one turned to look at the brown one, and I took that as my opportunity to run like hell. "Halt!" the brown one called, running after me. Good thing for me, I knew these trails like the back of my hand. I took off towards the far oak trees, cut to the left, stumbled, then rolled down the hill. So much for knowing them like the backs of my hands. I frowned. When I reached the bottom, all 3 were standing at the bottom. "We meant no harm, milady. Please do not give ear of this to His Majesty." They cajoled and sank to their knees. I was flabbergasted, to say the least. As I scrambled to my feet, they disappeared. What the hell was that? I asked no one in particular. His Majesty who? I continued to look around, but they were gone. I struggled to get back up the hill when a hand was suddenly there to pull me up. It was Brad. "How the fuck did you get down there?" he asked with a slight grin. "You so do not want to know." "Thanks," I retorted, brushing the dirt from me